Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ask Anything brought to you by Moser Consulting. I'm Angel Leon, your host and Moser's Director of Personnel. We're thrilled to have you with us for this episode of Ask Anything because today we're talking about Moser Labs, one of Moser Consulting's newest departments, and we're going to do a deep dive on how Moser Labs came to be, its mission, what it's currently focused on, and a few projects that have been released and where it's going. And to do that, I've got the very smart people behind this, Moser Consulting's Vice President of Application Services, Matt Bennett, the Director of Moser Labs, Natalie Fischesser, and our Director of Software Engineering, Marc Brickley. Matt's mission trips to underserved communities inspire them to build solutions that empowers users. Marc's experience coaching youth sports translates into creating products that foster teamwork, and Natalie's charitable design work influences their focus on delivering user-centered experiences. Together, they bring a shared mission to improve lives both in their communities and through the products we create at Moser. Today, we'll explore how their values drive our work within Moser Labs. Let's welcome our guests, Natalie, Matt, and Marc. Guys, how are you? Welcome to Ask Anything.
Yeah, no,
Hey,
doing
thank
great.
you for having us.
Let's talk about Moser Labs. And can one of you tell us how it came to be?
Sure. I want to say it was several years ago. I think it was 2017. Internally, we started building out a suite of business applications that we used here at Moser Consulting. That allowed us to control our costs on licensing for software that the company used. And it gave our consultants meaningful work to do between gaps in their contracts, or as learning opportunities to work with newer or different technologies, in order to enhance their skill set. As these applications matured, we realized that in addition to solving our own business problems, there was an opportunity there to help other organizations like us. And the vision for Moser Labs, started to become clear from that. We formally established Moser Labs in 2020. We created a director role to drive strategy and growth for our software products. We're taking a startup approach to how we build out labs, and we've made a significant investment in our platform and our product portfolio. And we're excited with, where we are today and what's on our roadmap for the upcoming year.
What's the primary goal you're trying to accomplish with Moser Labs?
So with Labs, we're really driven to help others solve their business challenges. And we do that through technology and the apps that we create. Each app we've developed solves a problem that we at Moser have faced ourselves. We know firsthand the frustration of inefficiencies, and we're committed to making work easier for companies and their employees. We do this by focusing on the real world challenges that businesses face, that slow their operations down. And we also kind of just focus on making apps more simple and cost effective.
So let's talk about why Moser Labs. Why should organizations really look at our Moser Lab apps?
As Natalie, kind of alluded to there, we understand the day-to-day inefficiencies that slow down business operations and affect productivity. There are things that we experienced ourselves, and we designed and built these apps to solve those problems, right? Doing things like reducing unnecessary admin work, providing clearer, clearer workflows, creating a more empowered and efficient workplace. We observed that there was a lot of bloat in the applications that we were using. They had a bunch of extra features that we were paying for, but we didn't need them. We wanted to reduce that complexity, and we did that by building custom software that had the core features that we needed. We also focus on usability and accessibility in our designs. And finally, we wanted to reduce the financial barriers for small and medium-sized businesses through, low licensing costs.
So usually when you have a smaller company servicing you, generally that feedback and support is better. Large companies like your requests and needs might get prioritized simply based on how much you're paying them, and they might get thrown away in the backlog. So by Labs, like we're able to give a support structure and network that is more tailored and personal to these clients.
So being a smaller group, we have more flexibility and responsiveness in addressing user feedback. When people have concerns or issues, at larger companies, it can go into a queue, and somebody may never address that issues that you're seeing in the software. So being smaller, we kind of are able to adapt and change our backlogs and priorities to, meet that user feedback and incorporate it into our products.
Just to size of the group, as you were mentioning, it allows us a little bit more flexibility, right? It lets us maybe become a little bit more agile to some degree to be able to do really what the client, the customer really needs to kind of hone in on those things. So let's talk about the apps that have been created so far by Moser Labs. We have the Wellness app, which we've talked about in the past, the Spenio app, and now the ClearPath for Jira app. Let's start with ClearPath. Mark, what can you tell us about ClearPath?
Oh, I can usually talk a lot about ClearPath. I'm never a man who's at a loss for words. Um, but in general, like if I go to ClearPath and talk about like the problem we're really trying to solve is it kind of starts with just kind of foundational concept and application development, and that's teams can solve problems faster and with better quality than an individual can. However, a problem that they run into is a hindrance to efficient delivery is the speed at which all those team members can get to a shared understanding of the vision, the priorities they're working on, and the actions that need to be taken to accomplish the vision. In application development, this data is often stored in work management apps, which the one we use at Moser is Jira by Atlassian. And thinking about business and how you execute, a lot of meetings are called really for the sole purpose of getting team members aligned, something that is even more difficult today with the prevalence of remote work across different time zones in this modern workplace that we have now. And when you do have that meeting, a significant portion of the time is spent on just answering service level questions just to get people on the same page. Well, what we wanted to do was speed this time up, allow teams to get to deeper level questions faster, and make the meetings that they do have shorter and more valuable. Even better, give teams tools to self-service their questions without even having the meetings to begin with. In short, we wanted to help teams stop wasting time and start delivering value. One of the tenets of agile delivery. How do we solve this problem? Well, we solve the problem through the power of visualization. There's an old saying, probably all of us have heard it at some point, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, that's very true because the brain processes pictures 60,000 times faster than text alone. There's tons of studies that show in learning and educational situations, quality images substantially improve comprehension and retention. And this is something that's also a tenet in application development. The phenomenon where people remember pictures better than words even has a name. It's called the picture superiority effect. Basically, what I'm getting at is our solution is backed by science. It's not something that we just made up. We are solving the problem by taking the tickets that teams have already defined in Jira, and we're creating a visualization that's the blueprint for execution. Now, how we do that, key features, there's really so many to name, so I'm just going to kind of spit a whole bunch of out real quick. It really starts with the foundation of displaying tickets and cards, just like the Jira Kanban boards. But what we do is we lay them out in a grid. Tickets that have to be executed in serial are displayed vertical to each other, but tickets that can be executed in parallel, meaning multiple people working them at the same time, those are displayed horizontal to each other. And this lets everybody quickly understand how the collection of tickets relates to the concept of agile sprints, because each of those rows, which has tickets that can be parallelized, represents a potential sprint in your agile development process. Building upon that is kind of our next set of cool features, which helps teams visually analyze their work. At just the click of a button, you can identify the bottleneck tickets that will limit the speed of your execution, as well as the tickets that carry the most risk for you to stay on the projected schedule. The term for those tickets are the critical path. Other features that set ClearPath apart is the full editing capability of your tickets and the tools that we have to help make your backlog refinement and sprint planning meetings more effective. Actually, think about it. There's a couple more things. I'll mention just a few more things, not quite features per se, but they are definitely focuses of ClearPath as an application. First, the app is built with agile development philosophies put first. So many tools in the Atlassian marketplace are really designed for waterfall development, and they incorporate old school project management features first. They really don't have the agile process concepts first and foremost in their design decisions, but we do. Second, something we're really proud of is the quality of the user experience in ClearPath. Many apps in the Atlassian marketplace feel like a completely separate product just bolted onto Jira, not ClearPath. We utilize the Atlassian design system and follow Atlassian patterns as much as we can to provide a seamless Jira-like experience for our users. This consistency increases employee adoption and it simplifies the onboarding process for new users. Speaking of onboarding, the last thing I'll mention is ClearPath is plug and play with your data from day one. Other apps have post-installation custom setup you have to do, but not ClearPath. Just download and go, start earning your ROI on day one.
Well, I'm going to add in that you can also check out a lot of functionality and taking you through how to use different pieces within ClearPath on Moser's YouTube channel. Some very useful videos starring Marc. And he did a very good job running through ClearPath, so be sure and check those out on the Moser YouTube channel. Says the guy who made the videos.
Exactly. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
I'm sure we could continue to talk about ClearPath, but we do have some other things that we want to get to. Particularly, let's talk about wellness. So, Natalie, how can the wellness app benefit other companies improve employee well-being?
Yeah, so more and more we're seeing that employers are looking for new ways to improve work-life balance and support their employees. They're finding that one-size-fits-all wellness programs fail to meet the needs of a dispersed and diverse workforce. So we're on a mission to improve the health and happiness and well-being of employees, both at Moser and at other companies. So what we've done to address this problem is we've created a health and wellness platform that's easy to set up and administer. It reduces the time spent by admins so they can focus on initiatives to support their employees. We built a platform that's flexible so employees can use their funds in a way that fit their individual lifestyles. We want to take a holistic approach, so not only look at their physical well-being, but their mental well-being as well. This doesn't include a marketplace or credit cards or things like that. We want them to be able to spend how best fits their lives. And what we're seeing with these type of programs is that employees are more engaged, they have greater job satisfaction, and it can lead to greater retention of top talent. Some of the key features, very similar to ClearPath in the sense that we have a very user-friendly interface. It's very easy to use. Employees can see what funds they have remaining and how much they can spend each quarter. We also have a very simple submission process that only takes a few seconds, so you can get that submitted and back to work. It's also very easy for admins to administer, that's reviewing, approving, and rejecting expenses.
As the admin for our company, I can say that it's very easy to administer. And on a user side note as well, I wanted to say that it is really easy to use. The platform is so that you can use it on your computer or your device, your cell phone device. It's very easy to submit tickets, or submit receipts. So it is as easy as she says it is. So trust us. My team loves it. I love it. It's really easy to administer. So give us a call, would you? That was my dirty sales pitch there. Sorry. All right. So let's talk about the third app that I mentioned, Spenio. How does Spenio help companies?
Spenio is a lightweight expense reimbursement program. It addresses that, expense reimbursement can be very tedious and time consuming. Finance departments are always chasing down receipts and dealing with, complex approval workflows. And employees and finance teams often find this very cumbersome and dread submitting receipts to get reimbursed for work travel or other expenses. So what we've tried to do is create a very lightweight and easy system for employees to go in and take some of the guesswork out of more complicated features like mileage or per diem. So those are two of the key features that we have. We do have mileage calculation, which companies can enter in their rates or the federal rates. And there's a lot of rules around commuting and mileage, so we can deduct those distances from home to work. And per diem works kind of similarly, where meals and incidentals can be automatically calculated for employees. Companies can choose to do location-based rates or standard rates, or even custom rates just based on their own policies. A lot of times, if you don't submit expenses often, those can be very confusing for people. And if we can do it automatically, it just simplifies the workflow and process for people and reduces mistakes.
Yeah, another app that I use very much here at Moser, and as somebody who actually used travel spending apps in the past, from a government standpoint and private standpoint as well, this is really easy to use. So I really appreciate the effort that it was made to put the user-friendly experience as number one priority. So I can certainly relate to that, because I don't like to click through a lot of different pages and things like that. And this is everything in one page. You basically can do everything with your tab button on your keyboard and just drag and drop files to it. So it's very intuitive and very easy. And with that, before we go, what's the future of Moser Labs? Where is it going?
Well, I can talk about ClearPath. We are continuing to develop on ClearPath. It's a product that has a very bright future. We have plans out for a couple years, but if you're looking more in the near term, there's a couple themes that we're definitely working on addressing right now. The first one is making sure we're preserving the canvas space as much as we can as we're adding the more powerful capabilities. It is a visual tool, so it's very important that you have as much space to visualize the work that you're trying to accomplish. Second is we're trying to take our visualization approach and look at it more with companies at scale. Larger companies have more variance in how they work. Usually there's different aspects of processes, more people, more teams, and we want to make it easier to incorporate ClearPath into their everyday workflows. And then lastly, we're looking to continue to innovate on common everyday problems that Agile teams experience. We have 8 Agile Scrum teams ourselves here at Moser Consulting. And we experience a lot of pains ourselves, and we're looking to solve problems for our teams and then help bring those solutions to you as well.
And then on wellness, we're really looking to improve the experience for the admins and for companies in general. So one of the things that we're working on in the near term is something that Angel had brought to us was kind of surfacing companies' wellness policies. Sometimes people can get in an app and they kind of forget about what their company rules are. So we've come up with ways to hopefully improve that, so people aren't submitting things that that aren't eligible for their program. And with that, we're also looking at other ways to customize the experience and program for companies. So looking at more categories, they can add their own, just evaluating how we can make it so it really is a tailored solution for each company.
And in order to really be effective at that tailoring, it's really important that we get feedback from our users to help shape our future development. We're trying to build apps that appeal to a variety of businesses, and we want to hear from you. Let us know the challenges that your users have. If they're using our products, tell us what they like, what they don't like, where we can improve. On our website, we have a number of surveys as well as support forms that you can fill out to help give us that feedback. You can also reach out to us directly on LinkedIn or via email, and we're happy to set up one-on-one meetings as well as do product overviews. If you're not a current customer but thinking about it, reach out. We'd love to talk to you.
Yeah, kind of heading into the fall, we're putting the finishing touches on an extremely successful conference schedule for 2024. It was really great to get out and showcase, ClearPath, Wellness, Spinio, these apps to folks, and the feedback we've received has been great. Keep an eye on Moser Labs and Moser Consulting's social media channels for more information about where we're going to be in 2025, and check out our website at moserlabs.work. for more information on our software products, or as Mark said, to schedule a live demo with our team.
Yeah, a lot of exciting and great products that the team is putting out. So thanks a lot to Mark, Natalie, and Matt for joining us today to talk about Moser Labs and its future. Guys, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning into this week's episode of Ask Anything, brought to you by Moser Consulting. We hope you enjoyed listening to our conversation with Natalie Fischesser, Matt Bennett, and Marc Brickley. Be sure to join us next time as we dive even deeper with our resident experts and explore what they're currently working on. Don't forget to share your ideas or topics with us on social media. In the meantime, please remember to give us a rating and subscribe to our feed wherever you get your podcasts. Until then, so long, everybody.